Hello everyone and welcome. This is Christine with Patter Crafts, and today I'm here with a project for Scrapping for Less. This is a design team project. I'll be making two cards today using stickers, and I'll also be using a pad of paper. This is the Fall Break pattern paper from Carta. It has become one of my most favorite for this year. I love the vintage feel. I love that it's a little more quote unquote grown up. I tend to gravitate towards a lot of cutesy things, so I like that this paper kind of allows for something for someone who maybe doesn't like all that cutesy stuff. So the first card I'm making, I'm using this sticker set here from Sandy Lion Stickers. This is called Tree with Leaves. Just to let you know, this sticker, or all of these stickers, they stick really well to that piece of acetate. And you also have to be really careful because the glitter will come off if you manipulate it too much. So just be aware of that. This is a beautiful card, and once I get it on, I don't have too many issues with it. It's just taking it off that piece of acetate. So first I was just going to throw the sticker on some white cardstock and put that on some pattern paper and call it a day, because this is about quick and easy. But that piece of white paper is too white for a fall card. So I'm grabbing my dried marigold distress ink, and I'm going to go ahead and ink up this piece of paper. Now this cardstock is 110-pound white cardstock from a local office supply store. And as you can tell, it is not meant for distress ink. I do not want to cut another piece of paper, so I'm just going to keep going with it. And it actually does kind of have a distressed look to it, and it didn't blend very well, which actually grows on me, and I end up in the end really liking the way it came out. So here I'm going to just kind of put my tree on this piece, but there's only adhesive on the leaves. So I do bring in my ATG and add a little bit more adhesive so it sticks really well. And I'm going to go ahead and put that piece aside. Now I'm going to take a look at the pattern paper. I already kind of had an idea before I even started this card which pattern paper I wanted to use. I did not want a pattern that had images or a solid piece, and I knew it had some plaid papers, and I thought that would look the best. So I'm going to go ahead and mat now my little tree panel here on some black cardstock because I want it to pop up from that plaid paper, and because my card base is going to be black cardstock, that's why I'm using the black cardstock here for a mat. And you can tell I'm struggling to cut this because my blade needs to be changed. I do not measure the width around the image, so I'm not really sure, but I just kind of eyeball it so that all of the edges look similar. So right now I'm just going to prep my card base. This is some 110-pound black cardstock. It's from Recollections. I do purchase it from a local supply store. I generally use a coupon so that it is a little more affordable since I do make so many cards. So my black and white card bases come from there. Anything but more of a colored cardstock, I do get that from different stores online, mostly just because my local supply store doesn't have that. So for those of you who are a little bit familiar with my videos, you know I'm not the best at measuring. So here is another boo-boo. I cut this piece down and didn't even think about that hole at the top. So good thing there's two pieces, and by magic I'm going to come back with a piece that is perfectly cut with a rectangle die, because that is my go-to, and that is a reason why I usually always use a die when I cut this piece down. So anyway, moving on. We're going to go ahead and adhere this to my card base, and then I'm going to adhere my tree panel on top of that. Now I'm going to add one of the pumpkins from the autumn stickers from Sticko, and that's why this is not getting popped up on foam tape. If this was just all I was going to do for this card, I totally would have popped that up on some foam tape, but I am adding one of these pumpkins. So these pumpkins are just regular, plain stickers. There's no dimension, there's no glitter, there's nothing fancy, they're just some plain stickers. I love the shading, I love the leaves, and I love that they're kind of versatile and I can use them for a lot of different things. So I'm just going to put one on this card here. But everything else in the card has sort of like that black mat to it. So I stuck the sticker on some black cardstock and I'm fussy cutting around a little bit of a black border. So it just kind of looks like it belongs with the rest of this card. So once I have that done, I'm just going to grab some foam tape and adhere that on with some foam adhesive. And then I'm going to work on the inside of my card. So for the inside of my card, I grab that wonderful office supply store cardstock and I cut my piece for the center with that rectangle die that I used on the front. And this cardstock works great for this sort of stuff. So the rest of this Sandy Lion sticker set has this pile of leaves, it has a rake, and there's a couple of leaves on here. The leaves I had a really hard time with, and I'll get to that in a minute. But right now I'm just adding my rake, and I'm just trying to add this pile of leaves so it kind of looks like the rake is pulling up the leaves. So I decided, I want to finish up using these leaves, so I'm trying to pull them up to put on the front of the card. But as I'm trying to bend them to put them up, I'm basically breaking the glittery part of the sticker, which is the sticker, and it's just falling apart. So you have to be really, really careful when you're taking them off. Don't bend them like I did because it's not gonna work. So anyway, moving on, I am going to go ahead and just forget those leaves and finish up my card here. Now this rake does not have adhesive on the handle, so I'm just grabbing some Tombow Mono liquid adhesive and just adding a teeny bit of glue to the back to glue that down. And that is it for card number 1. Now card number 2, I am doing some more distress ink for the sentiment. I'm grabbing a sentiment from the Teresa Talks Fall stamp set from Scrapping for Less. It came in a card kit last year. This stamp set, I believe, is still available in her store. I absolutely love this sentiment. It says, "Happy Fall, y'all." And I absolutely love doing this like little ombre, like part, like inking to it. So it's kind of going from like an orange to a green to a brown, because those colors all associate fall for me. I am using the Misty because I am using distress ink to stamp this, so I know I'm going to have to stamp it a couple of times to get a really nice image. So once I have that all done, I'm super happy with how it came out, and I decided this panel's a little big. The sentiment wasn't as big as I thought, so I'm going to cut it down with the next size down rectangle die that I have. And once that is all set, I'm going to start putting stuff together and finish with some stickers. So I'm going back to the pattern paper and trying to find something that kind of goes with the pumpkins and the leaves. And I end up finding this really bold leaf that kind of mimics some of the colors I used in the sentiment. And I'm like, this is it. This is the piece. So we're gonna go ahead and use this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out with a rectangle die. Now my Cuttlebug, I can't put a full 6x6 piece of paper in. It will kind of ruin one part of it. So in order to not do that, I just kind of take off about 2 inches. That way I can use it for something else if I wanted to later. So once all my die cutting's done, I'm going to go ahead and score my card base. Again, this is the 110-pound black cardstock I have in my stash. And I'm going to start putting this card together. So I'm going to grab that piece of pattern paper that has all of the leaves and go ahead and put that on first. And for the Happy Fall, y'all, it's a little bit of a bigger piece, and I'm not sure how my stickers are going to go on here yet. I know, I don't really plan very well. So I go ahead and I'm going to just stick that down with the tape runner and not foam tape. And I decide I want the bottom to be like pumpkins, and then the 2 sides and the top I want to have all the leaves. So I am just grabbing leaves, trying to put them in waves that kind of make it look a little natural, like they're falling or blowing in the breeze. I know, I'm dorky. So I'm going to go ahead and finish adding the leaves, and then I'm going to take a look and figure out how many pumpkins can I add to the bottom of this. So I'm taking a look at the pumpkins, and I decide I can do 3. And then I decide, I want that middle one to just pop up a little bit because I don't know, I love foam tape and Wink of Stella. I don't bring Wink of Stella into either of these cards, but that's usually something that you'll always find on my cards, along with something that's popped up on some foam tape. So just grabbing some foam tape here for this middle pumpkin, and then just grabbing another one to put there on the right, and then I'll pop this one up in the middle. And this is pretty much all I do for the front of this card. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the center, of the card. The inside of the card. We're going to go ahead and add that white panel that I almost always do. And I'm going to add a pumpkin, and then I decide, I'm going to finish putting these leaves, and I decide to just group them in 3s over on that upper left-hand corner. Then I take a look at what I have left for stickers, and I'm like, I need to finish using these because honestly, use them, they'll just forever, and force myself to use them and any stuff like that. Maybe not everybody, but I'm sure a lot of us do. So I'm like, forget it. I'm going to use the rest of these pumpkins on this card. And I'm really happy with the result. I think it looks kind of fun. It's kind of festive. So yeah. So these are my 2 cards today. It's that time of year we're all really busy. So if you have 10 minutes, you can make 2 cards. They're quick and easy. Stickers are great for this sort of thing. So thank you all so very, very much for joining me today. I hope you're enjoying your fall. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more and you're not already, please hit that subscribe button. But until next time, everyone, have a great day or night and totally enjoy your fall. Bye.